Hello everybody, welcome back with another video. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss 20 most asked important lines, important quotation which is frequently asked in any English literature exams, whether it is NET, SET, TGT, PGT, KVSD, SSB, any exam. I'll not only tell you these lines but also explain in which context these lines are spoken and by whom these lines are spoken, as well as these are not only the quotation spoken by any character but also the opening lines, right? And important lines of the poems. Definitely this video is very helpful for you, so keep watching till the end. So the first important line we have, to be or not to be, that is the question. This is the most famous line in English literature, which occurs in play Hamlet by William Shakespeare, right? This is the soliloquy you have to remember, and it is spoken by Prince Hamlet himself in Act 3, Scene 1st, right? In which context does he speak? He speaks when he is confused that he should face the hardship of life or he should just end by dying. He should end everything by dying or he should just face hardship of life. Then he speaks, and Hamlet is on alone on stage and he asks these questions about his purpose and life by himself, right? And what is exactly soliloquy? Soliloquy is a type of speech which is spoken by a character, right? And no other character can listen this, and this is spoken when character is alone on the stage and audience is listening. Audience can listen but other character cannot listen. He speaks his inner feeling which is running in his mind, right? Let's move on to the next. Two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So these lines, these are important line which occurs in a poem, in a particular poem, right? That is, two roads diverged. You can just think in which poem these lines occurs. So that is the road not taken by Robert Frost. It was published in 1915, originally published in it was written in 1915 and originally published in 1916 in Mountain Interval. The rhyming scheme of this poem is ABAAB, and this is a narrative poem written in iambic tetrameter which had 20 lines, right? Okay, this is most important, most famous line which are asked in various exams, right? Next, that is, cowards dies many times before their death, the valiant never dies but once. These lines are spoken by Julius Caesar in the play Julius Caesar itself, right? Julius Caesar himself, he speaks these lines to whom? To his wife Calpurnia, right? To his wife Calpurnia in Act 2, Scene 2. Now, let me ask you the question, that the question arises that how the question is asked, how the question is framed in exams. So they will ask you, like, they will give you the line like to be or not to be. That is the question. In which act or scene these lines are spoken? What is this? This is a kind of line, quotation or soliloquy, so you have to remember, right? And by whom this is spoken, the same with in this, that who spoke this line, and in which act and scene these lines are spoken, and who spoke to whom these lines. This type questions are framed in exams, right? Next we have fair is foul and foul is fair. So these lines occurs in Macbeth play. In Act 1, Scene 1, in the beginning of the play, these lines are spoken by three witches, right? Okay. Next important line we have, life is but a walking shadow, right? So this is also the line taken from Macbeth by William Shakespeare. And when does he speak? It is spoken in Act 5, Scene 5, at the last of the play. Who speaks this? Macbeth himself speaks when his wife Lady Macbeth kills herself. When his wife Lady Macbeth dies, she kills herself. Then these lines are spoken by Macbeth. And the second line also, which is in sequence, life is but a walking shadow, then something is there, and then this life is a tale told by an idiot. And in the same act and same scene, you have to remember, right? Next important line we have, that is most famous line, here is still the smell of blood, all the perfume of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. So these lines are spoken by Lady Macbeth. She speaks when she just arranges the murder of King Duncan, and she cannot forget the guilt that she has killed King Duncan, right? In Act 5, Scene 1. right? Act 5 scene 1, she speaks. Lady Macbeth says this because she has realized that nothing in the world will erase the stain of King Duncan's death from her conscience. She tries to wash her hands to remove the growing sense of guilt built, but in the end she determines that his blood will always be on her hands. Then she speaks this line. This is most famous line. Next we have, if music be the food of love, then play on. So this is the most famous line. This is the opening line of Twelfth Nights, the play Twelfth Nights, where you will find the characters Viola, right? Viola, Olivia, King Orsino, Sebastian. These characters are in this play, and this is spoken in Act 1, Scene 1. As you know, this is the opening line, right? Okay. Next line we have, all the words stage and men and women are merely players. This is the most famous line, which is spoken in As You Like It, the play As You Like It, and Act 2 scene 7. Act 2 scene 7. Now question is asked, who speaks this line? So Jakes, there is a character Jakes named Jakes, he speaks these lines, right? And also these lines, all the words stage and men and women are merely players, this is compared with the seven ages of men, right? There's a poem named Seven Ages of Man, so these lines are compared with this particular poem. Next important line where we have, love is merely a madness. Love is merely a madness. As like here, all the words stage and men and women are merely players. So these lines are also taken from As You Like It. As You Like It, which is spoken in Act 3, Scene 2. And who speaks? This is a Rosalind's monologue. Monologue. What is monologue? Which a character speaks herself or himself, right? This is a kind of, you can say, soliloquy type something, right? So Rosalind is a character, right? Who is senior, she's a daughter of senior Duke Senior, right? She is a daughter of Duke Senior, right? So she disguises herself in the with the character Ganymede, right? Then she goes to find her. She goes to find her father. In that disguise, she speaks this. Love is merely a madness, right? Next line we have, all the glitters is not gold. These lines are taken, these lines are spoken in Merchant of Venice. Who speaks? Prince of Morocco speaks to Portia, right? And when does he speak? In Act 2, Scene 7. You just have to remember that when these lines are spoken, in which act and in which scene, you just have to remember this. Act 2 scene 1, Act 2 scene 7, Act 3 scene 2, Act 2 scene 7. This you have to remember this, right? Because this is the main question which is asked in exam, that in which act or in which scene these lines are spoken, and by whom these are spoken, to whom these are spoken, and which play these are spoken. So that's for everything I have included here. Next question, next line we have, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling. So this is the most famous line by spoken by William Wordsworth, right? And in which play, I mean, where does he speak? So he speaks in the preface to Lyrical Ballad, which came in 1798, and the second edition of this 1800, third edition 1802, and fourth edition 1805, right? You just have to remember this. This is the most famous line, William Wordsworth. Okay, next we have, that is, nature never did betray the heart that loved. Wow, most beautiful line. That is, nature never did betray the heart that loved her. So this line is spoken by William Wordsworth in his poem Tintin Away, right? And when was it published? 1798, right? When he goes to the Wye River, you if you remember, right? So the next line we have, water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. So this line occurs in the Rime of Ancient Mariner. This is the poem written by S.T. College, and S.T. College himself, he speak this line, right? And when does he speak? When he is alone in the ship and in the sea, right? And he speaks this line when he is thirsty. He feels thirsty, but he cannot drink the water, because everywhere there is a water, but that water is not for drinking, because that water is a type of salty or type of dirty. That's why he speaks that water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. That next line we have, alone, alone, all alone, alone on wide, wide sea. That is also most famous line, which is spoken S.T. College by himself in the poem, in the same poem, Rime of Ancient Mariner. When does he speak? He speaks when all his fellow mariner dies. So he just remains alone there. Then he speaks that alone, alone, all alone, alone on wide sea. Next poem you have, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So these lines are also, this is also poem. This is the kind of poem, and this is taken from Endymion, book 1, right? It was published in 1818, dedicated to Thomas Chatterton, right? And which is written in heroic couplet, iambic pentameter. You have to remember this, right? It was published in 1818, and who wrote this? John Keats. John Keats. You just have to remember this, right? And it was dedicated to Thomas Chatterton. They will ask to you that a thing of beauty, or Endymion was dedicated to whom? So it was dedicated to Thomas Chatterton. Next important line we have, beauty is truth, truth is beauty, right? It was written by John Keats himself, and in the poem Ode on a Grecian Urn, which was published in 1819 in Annals of the Fine Arts. It was written in 5 stanza, and he talks about the Grecian, Greek urn. They're a kind of urn, jug, right? Beauty is truth, truth is beauty. Next important line we have, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? That is most beautiful line. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? So this is spoken in Ode to West Wind. Ode to West Wind by whom? By P.B. Shelley. By P.B. Shelley. He is also romantic poet. ठीक है? So it was published in 1819, and where it was written, it was written in 1819, and where it was written in Italy, in Florence, near Cassenwood. Near Cassenwood it was written, and originally published in 1820 by Charles Oliver. He published this poem, right? Written by P.B. Shelley, but he published this, right, in 1820 in a part of Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus Unbound was a kind of drama, right? And in this play, it was a collection. In this play, this poem was also published, right? Which poem? Ode to West Wind. Next we have, poetry is a mirror which makes beautiful that which is distorted. So this is also by P.B. Shelley. In which poem? This line is spoken in his essay, A Defense of Poetry, right? He wrote this essay, A Defense of Poetry, in the response, in response to his friend Thomas Love Peacock. Thomas Love Peacock's article, The Four Ages of Poetry. That means that Thomas Love Peacock, he wrote the article, The Four Ages of Poetry. In response of his the four ages of poetry, he, P.B. Shelley, wrote A Defense of Poetry. And in this poem, in this essay, these lines are spoken, that poetry is a mirror which makes beautiful that which is distorted. Next line we have, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So this line spoken by Alexander Pope in his essay, An Essay on Criticism, which was published in 1709, right? Next also line, that is, a little learning is dangerous thing. This is also in the same essay by Alexander Pope. Next also, there is a to err is human, to forgive divine, an essay on criticism. That means these three lines, all these three lines are spoken in the same essay, an essay on criticism, and these are the most famous lines which are asked in various English literature exams, right? And last famous line we have, poetry is the breath and final spirit of knowledge, right? This is the line by William Wordsworth. So I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe for more updates.